I'm going to go over how to properly do the now in this video. There's three main goals to the now, which is the first part of the presentation. The first one is to build rapport. The second one is to create problems. The third one is to find hotspots, okay? Now let's talk about that first of all. So what does it mean to create versus find? Find is already there. Create is we're going to make this an issue, okay? So let me give you guys an example. So let's just say, for example, the customer has 3 TVs and they only have 1 DVR. They may not naturally think this is a problem because they don't know what they don't know, okay? So we're going to find out the information in the now and potentially make that a selling point in the new portion of the presentation. We're going to build rapport by talking about what they like to watch. We never want to presume. We want to say like, hey, so what do you guys like to watch? Just ask them that very simple question. They'll usually tell you the first thing they say is going to be the thing that they enjoy the most. If I say, hey, what do you like to watch? They say, I like to watch sports. We're going to build a rapport based off that. Who's your sports team, etc. Okay? And the last one here is we're going to find hotspots. Find hotspots are already there. Okay? Hotspots are things that are important to that customer. Example, and that would be internet. Okay? You can tell that they light up when they talk about internet. They use it for business and things like that at their house. Okay? So I'm going to start off from the top on how to properly do the now. Our transition statement from an introduction and short story, which is covered in another video, is we're going to say, so cool, so how many TVs is Comcast servicing for you? And that could be Comcast, it could be Charter, it could be whomever they currently use, okay? We're going to say, so how many TVs is Comcast servicing for you guys? We have 3 customer sets. Now, we're going to ask them this question next. It says, do you guys have a DVR? Okay? Simple question, do you guys have a DVR? They say yes, okay? We're going to assume that it's going to be on 1 TV. We're going to say, cool, so I'm assuming that's only on 1 TV. Is that correct? They'll say, oh, yes, or they'll say no, okay? What we're looking for, just like in any sport, we're looking for mismatches. We're looking for a customer to have 3 TVs but only have 1 DVR, okay? Or 3 TVs and only have 2 DVRs. That is a potential problem with their setup that we will cover again in the new, okay? So cool, back to the top. So how many TVs you guys have? We have 3. Do you guys have a DVR? Yes. Is that just on the main TV? Yes. Now we need to figure out what's going on with the second and the third TV. Okay, what I mean by that is Comcast actually servicing that TV? Are they just streaming on that TV? Okay, here's the reason why. Is someone could have Comcast and only have 3 TVs and have a DVR on their main TV, but they could have maybe an on-demand box or something like that, or just have channels on the other 2 TVs and just not have a DVR. So our goal here is to figure out how they're truly set up. So how many TVs you guys have? We have 3. Do you guys have a DVR? Yes. Is that just the main TV? Yes. Then we're going to figure out what's going on with the other 2 TVs. We're going to say, cool, so on the other 2 TVs, is Comcast servicing those other 2 as well? Are you guys just streaming? We're going to give what's called a 2-option close. Is Comcast servicing the other 2, or are you guys just streaming? Let's just say they say we're just streaming, okay? Okay, you guys are just streaming. Now, how are you guys streaming? Are you guys using like a Roku or an Amazon Fire Stick? The reason why the information is important is because with DirecTV Stream, our product, is a person can watch our TV service on 4 compatible outlets, if you will. 1 is what's called the Osprey box, which comes with a voice command remote. 2 is a Roku. 3 is an Amazon Fire Stick. And 4 is some smart TVs. I usually try to stick with Rokus and Amazon Fire Sticks because I know it's a surefire, way the customer will be able to stream that product when they get it to their home. Okay? So if I find out that they have Rokus on the other 2 TVs, that means I can either give them 1 box or I can give them 3. But I don't have to give them 3. Make sense? So for example, if they only have 3 TVs, 1 true box, and Roku's on the other 2, that means our DirecTV Stream product would work on those other 3, on all 3 TVs. Okay? So again, I'm going to go from the top. So how many TVs is Comcast service for you guys? We have 3. Do you guys have a DVR? Yes. Is that just on the main one? Yes. Now, is Comcast servicing the other 2? Are you guys just streaming? Or we're just streaming? How are you guys streaming? Are you guys using like a Roku or an Amazon Fire Stick? Oh, we're using a Roku. Okay, great. Now, then I'm going to transition into what they like to watch. Now, remember, this is where we build rapport. Okay, this is where we're going to figure out what the customer likes to watch and who else in the household likes to watch TV. We're going to simply say, cool, so what do you guys like to watch? I usually like to inflect my voice a little bit to show them that this is something fun. We can talk about it, okay? So I'm going to say, what do you guys like to watch? The customer says, oh, I like history. Oh, cool. What kind of history shows do you like to watch? You know, and they'll start telling me about that, okay? Once I find out what the person I'm talking to, if let's just say I'm talking to the husband, the wife's not there, I'm going to say, cool, so what else do you like to watch? And he'll tell me more things that he likes to watch. I'm like, cool, is there anyone else in the household watches TV? Oh, my wife. Okay, cool. What does she like to watch? And then he'll tell me what she likes to watch. HGTV, DIY Network, you know, maybe Bravo, reality shows, things like that. And we'll find out what they like to watch. So I like to find 3 or 4 things that the family likes to watch. And this is where I get to build that rapport and make sure that customer likes me as a person. Okay? Once I've done that, at this time also, to backtrack, I'm figuring out what kind of package I need to put the customer in. So a good example would be if someone's a big SEC fan, you know, I know that our choice package includes the SEC network. Or if they're an ACC fan, I know that our choice package includes that. So certain packages is going to include different types of channel lineup. Okay? So then I'm going to transition into my internet. The internet goes like this. So as far as your internet goes, that's a transition phrase I use quite often. So as far as your internet goes, is your internet more business or personal? Okay? Most people work to some capacity at their homes these days. And most people are going to say, well, we work a little bit from home. Okay? So let's just go down that road first. So customer says, I say, is that more business or personal? A little bit of both. Cool. Does anyone work from home? Oh, yeah, I do. My wife does. Whatever. Okay? And you'll talk about that. You may could say things like, cool, have you guys always worked from home? How do you like it? Just build more rapport. Cool. If they say business, you go through that process, then you're going to say this statement, which is our first buying sign opportunity. We're going to ask them a question to invoke a buying sign. Okay? Buying sign opportunity. So you're going to say, cool, so internet's really important to you guys then, right? I'm going to say just like that, with passion. So internet's really important to you guys then, right? And the customer at that point in time is, oh yeah, we have to have fast internet. Okay? Then I transition over. Let's just say the customer does not use business. Maybe it's for like just personal. Now, depending on the demographics and maybe how old the customer is, I may say things like, does any of your family members come over? Is there any gamers here? Things like that. Because if it's just for personal use, we want to talk to them about potential the use for gaming. Okay? Once I've covered the internet, I'm going to transition to the home phone. Now, a lot of people don't have home phones these days, but there are people that still do. So once you go to the home phone, you're going to say, cool, do you guys have a home phone? They say yes. You're going to say, do you use it? They say potentially no. And you're going to say this statement. You're going to say, cool. And it's not grammatically correct, so just bear with me on this. But I personally say, so you don't really care about that then, right? Okay? Now, if you can say a way that's more grammatically correct, by all means, go ahead. But I say, so you don't really care about that then, right? And I'm usually invoking another buying sign. So that's my second buying sign opportunity for that customer. Okay? So again, the first one is, the internet's really important to you guys then, right? The second one is, you don't really care about that then, right? And then I'll move on from there. Because they'll usually say, no, we don't even care about it. I mean, it was, it's still in the box. We didn't have it hooked up. Okay? So to me, that in translation, they're saying that, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, hey, this person would sign up if I can give them faster speed of internet for a better price, with no contracts, et cetera, which is what we offer. Okay? The last phrase of the now is when we're going to go over the pricing. We never ask a customer what they're paying. We always want to tell them what they're paying. Okay? So I'm going to look at my pricing sheet. And I'm going to say, cool. So I'm assuming you guys are paying around blah. I always want to pick $100 higher than my highest option. Okay? Prices change all the time. So let's just say, for example, the package I want to quote them is $160. Okay? Just for an example purpose. That's with TV and internet. Maybe not the home phone because they don't care about that. Okay? So in that scenario, I'm going to say, cool, so as far as your TV and internet goes, I'm assuming you guys are probably paying around like $260, something like that, and then see if that's somewhere around what they pay. Because I know if that customer's paying $260, I'm going to be able to give them a package that's going to fit their needs and help them, get on with our current provider, AT&T. Okay. The other two things I would like to cover in the now portion is when you would bring up cell phones. Okay. Cell phones is a big producer for us, and there's going to be a couple spots during the now portion you could potentially bring up cell phone. The first stage is at the very beginning of the introduction and short story, and the customer is not what I call, they're not really vibing with you. They're not interested or whatnot. They're shutting you down the intro and short story, and we're just going to, cool, so who are you guys using for your cell phones? That's the first one. The second one is when they are vibing with us. Vibing with us is they're agreeing with us, they're answering our questions, they're building some rapport with us. In this stage, we're just going to simply ask them who they have for their current provider for their cell phones. So who do you guys use for your cell phones? Oh, we're using Verizon or whatever, okay? And we're going to note that, and we're going to rehash that later after we close the TV and internet deal. The third scenario here is where they have the same provider for TV, internet, and cell phones. Usually that will be with Comcast. Then we're going to bundle that all together. So we'd say like, cool, so who do you guys have your cell phones to? We have Comcast. Oh, okay, great. So how much are you guys paying for the TV, internet, and cell phones, the whole package with those guys? And we'll figure out that number and know that's the number we need to beat when we're doing what we call a triple play and offering them TV, internet, and cell phones. Okay? All right, that concludes the now portion that I'll be covering today. Thank you.